What is up, guys? Welcome back or to the channel if you're new here. We've been growing pretty good, which I'm excited about and thankful for. So if you're new here, welcome. My name's George. I'm taking everything off my two-door, putting it on my four-door, and putting tons under it. I'm excited to say we're finally ready to get these axles, I guess, finished, cleaned up, and painted, and reassembled. So we're going to put the 60 aside, get the 14 bolt up on the stands, get a final clean, wipe down with some acetone, and get it painted. And I'm going to let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow it's going to be reassembled. So, yeah, it's super exciting. The 14 bolt will be ready to put in. So, yeah, let's get to it. Let's get this axle up on the stand and start prepping it to be painted. All right, so we got all the welding smalls, balls, whatever you want to call them. We got all them dinged off. I got it wiped down. Actually, I had some help from the wife, which was nice. I got it all wiped down, so it's ready to paint, which is super exciting, and I'm excited too. It's been a long project, but it really hasn't. I didn't even start this until December, and it's February. It's about 2 months I've been working on this, so yeah, let's get some paint laid down. I'll show you what kind of paint I got. I'm gonna try this stuff out. I see some good reviews on it. Rust-Oleum hammered. It's supposed to be chip resistant and stuff like that. Helps hide surface imperfections. I get a lot of comments why I didn't get it powder coated and this and that. And this thing's gonna get beat in the rock, so I'll be able to just buy this and touch it up every once in a while once it gets all mangled up and scratched up. So yeah, I ain't too concerned. Lucky I didn't just get the dollar cans at Dollar General. But yeah, let's get this thing sprayed. Oh, there goes nothing. Well, that comes out quick. It's a very wide spray pattern. We got both these axles painted up. Man, they look good. I've been waiting for this. But yeah, I'll give you a peek and let you see what these things look like. I decided to go with like a gunmetal gray, and man, I'm happy. Everybody's got black axles, so I decided to do gray. There's the rear and the front. Man, I'm excited. This is some good motivation here. But yeah, I'm going to let these sit overnight. I'm going to get the fire cranked back up so they can hopefully cure pretty good. And then tomorrow we're going to reassemble the 14 bolt and hopefully get it ready to go in. I got everything ready. I got the tone rings installed. I got all new wheel bearings put in. I got to put some grease in there yet. And yeah, I actually picked up the front knuckles today from getting blasted also. But yeah, everything for the 14 bolts ready, except for this. I got to weld this pinion guard yet. But I just had it on there for mock-up and got it tacked. But yeah, I am stoked. They're looking good. But yeah, I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow, and we'll get this 14 bolt reassembled and ready to go into the Jeep. Well, guys, the time has finally come. We're ready to reassemble this 14 bolt, which is super exciting. I've been looking forward to this all day. Of course, the furnace will kick on right now. Yeah, we're going to start with getting the backing plates on, and then the wheel bearing, get it torqued up, and then I think just rotor and caliper. I think that's it. I got to put the ABS sensors on, get that figured out. But other than that, it shouldn't take too long to get this rear end put together, so let's get to it. We got this outer bearing to put in, and then the oil seal that goes on top of it. So I'm going to get that done, then open up the backing plates, and we'll get them put on. I was also looking online. I'm actually glad I didn't grease these, because apparently you're not supposed to. They get lubed by the gear oil in the axle, so They say if anything, put some gear oil in it and then tilt the axle up one side and then the other to make sure that oil gets into these bearings. There's one. And the new seal. Probably shouldn't do this on a plastic folding table. Alright, there's one ready to go. It's easy enough. I went with Timken bearings for everything. I don't know. Some people say they're the best. Some people say they used to be the best, but it's whatever. They probably all come from the same place in China. Oh yeah. Okay, now backing plates. Get rid of some of this garbage. I went ahead and wrote down all these part numbers. That way I have them if I ever need them. There ain't no guesswork. Bought some Loctite for putting some of this stuff together. Alright. These are really nice. I found these on Rock Auto. They're loaded backing plates. It's got brand new parking brakes in it. Or parking brake shoes in it. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, see, ain't that great? Ain't gotta mess with nothing. It's already ready to go. Just have to adjust it once I get the rotors on, but all nice and shiny. There's one. And here's the other one. It didn't come with new nuts to bolt it to the axle, so I saved everything for tearing it apart. I'm gonna go grab those nuts and I'll be right back. We'll get these things put on. Sucks, this one actually came dented. But it's whatever, I ain't gonna bother with trying to return it, so I'll just bang it out. But this is gonna go over here on the driver's side. It's like that. I'm gonna get two of these nuts started. And then I actually have to notch this for the ABS sensor. So I'm gonna have to put all this on, get everything marked up, and then take it back apart again and do a little grinding. Grab a wrench, snug these up. This monkey wrench will work for now. So it's kind of a pain with the control arm mount. So I should have did a 3-link. By scuffing up that new paint job. That's alright. It's gonna get scuffed anyway. Oh, now it's really scuffed. Now it's scuffed again. Okay, now I'll bring it around back and we'll get these ABS mounts on. These are gonna go on right like this. Of course, they're a little bowed. I'll get you up in there so you can see. So here's the mount. So I got to take out this area on the axle. And usually this isn't here, this hump in the backing plate. But I guess since it's aftermarket, I'm going to have to cut that out too and make room for it to pass through there. Then I got to drill a hole in the backing plate. So that's what I'm going to work on now on both sides. I'm going to get this ground down and make it so that the ABS sensor will fit. So I got these notches in. But I don't know how I'm going to grind this out on this backing plate. Like I said, I don't know if it's because these are aftermarket, but that's what needs to come out. This indent's here, but that's it's not where it needs to be. And it's the same exact thing on this one, so I gotta brainstorm, figure out how I can get that out of there without ruining this backing plate. Once I figure that out, I'll be back. All right, I figured it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and say what I'm sure all of you guys are thinking. This definitely should have been done before I painted it. I should have had this mocked up and done, but I didn't think it would be that bad. I thought I would just take a little bit off with a flap disc, but there's a lot of bit. So instead of reaming this out on these backing plates, I just mounted everything up and then marked right where it's gonna hit, which you can see if it'll focus. And then I hit it with my, this clicky thing. And I'm just gonna drill them out. I'm gonna make them a little bit bigger. And then I gotta go pick up the sensors in the morning. I'm just gonna get it from the local parts store. That way they got a warranty on them. I'm gonna go pick them up, but I'm gonna go ahead and drill these out, get them put on, get everything else put on. And then before I put the wheel bearings on, I'm gonna put the sensors in tomorrow morning, just make sure everything lines up with the tone ring and everything's good to go. And then if it is, then I'll put the wheel bearings on, rotors, calipers, axles, and then the rear will be done. So let's go ahead and get these drilled out. I also want to show you real quick. So here's the old one I kept. I always keep everything till the project's done. Okay, so there's the old one. And you can see this one has this big flat notch, and this is how they are from the factory, and you don't have to notch that when using the sensor. But I bought these loaded ones. As you can see, everything's exactly the same. But for whatever reason, this side's notched out, but this side isn't. So that's why I got to do this extra step that most people probably don't have to do unless they're replacing this whole thing like I am. But I want to have a nice working parking brake because it's a manual, and I like to, you know, use it and let it run sometimes. I'm just getting out for a second. So that's why I want to do all this. Alright guys, I got these drilled out. I used a step bit. I went from like an 1/8 inch bit, then to 3/16, then quarter, and then used a step bit. It works pretty nice. Hopefully that's enough. I'll see tomorrow once I pick up the sensors, but we're gonna go ahead and get these put on and get everything mocked up and ready for the sensors tomorrow and see what else we can do. Give you guys a little update here. The holes in these backing plates, they gotta be huge to fit the ABS sensor. So I've made 2 trips to the hardware store now, about $70 in drill bits. I think I finally got it big enough. So I drilled out to 13/16 is the size I'm up to, and I'll show you what I'm working with. Here's what size, how big I got this hole up to. And the sensor finally fits in. So I'm gonna get this one drilled out next. I got a mess. Get this one drilled out next, and then mock everything up, make sure they fit, and go from there. Well, this install just got a whole lot more expensive. Can't even see it, but she's pouring out the smoke. So it works though. Okay, I'm finally ready to see if this all goes together now. That piece fits. Let's start some nuts just to help hold it together. All right, moment of truth. Doesn't fit. I gotta take the hole in farther. All right, so I finally got this reamed out enough that the wheel speed sensor fits in. It took a lot, and I mean a lot. I probably got 2 hours in reaming and drilling this thing, but I finally got it, so I'll show you. So now, it fits in here just like it should and gets bolted in. You go to the inside, it sits right where it should. I don't know if you can see that or not, but. And then on the other side, same thing. See, I'm happy with that. So now we can, I think I gotta trim down the inside of the parking brake shoes a little bit so that the tone ring will pass through. So once I check that, I can get the hubs put in, and then that's it. Brakes and rotors, axle shafts, calipers, that's about it. Okay, now we can get this hub put on. we got some contacting issues. Okay, I see where it needs to be taken down some. All right, it's in. It's exciting. Make sure our sensor still fits. So it's gonna be perfect. So now I'm gonna put the lock nut on this and do the torque sequence. From what I read online, put the nut on, torque it to 50 foot-pounds as you're rotating this so that it pushes on evenly. And then you want to loosen it back up and retorque it again to 30 foot-pounds. And then after that, the little keyway probably isn't going to line up. So they say you should loosen it until it lines up, but that seems wrong. I don't know. I might tighten it until it lines up. We'll see. Either way, I'll have to adjust it until the keyway will go in. And then this side will be done. So I'm going to go grab the socket and the nut and get this side done. So this is the specialty socket that you need for this spindle nut. Part number W1270. I got it off Amazon, but I'm sure you can find it in other places. This ought to be interesting on the stand. Getting tight now. Sure still spins nicely. That's it, that's 50 pounds. So now I'm gonna loosen it back up. Spin it a couple more times. Everything feels good. Now we're gonna retorque it to 30. That's it. I'll give you a look in here. We'll see where this keyway lines up at. So as you can see, the keyway just needs to go a little bit tighter and I'll be able to hit the gap. So I think I'm gonna go tighter and put the keyway in and the snap ring, and this side will be done. Okay, this side's all done. I got it, let me find my flashlight. I got a mess. I got the keyway in, got the retaining clip back in, so this side's good to go. Still rolls free. I put the ABS sensor in. Looks like it lines up good. I'm sure you can't see it now. You kind of see the tone ring shining, but so yeah, this side's complete. It's ready for a rotor. So we'll move to the other side and get the same thing done. Well, this side's done, which is exciting. I think now we're down to just rotors, calipers, axle shafts, which is super exciting because that means the 14 bolt's done, ready to be put in, and I couldn't be more excited. So I'll show you what it looks like with these done, and then we're gonna open up the new rotors and calipers and brake pads and get all that stuff pieced together. Got both hubs put on, the ABS sensors are in, they line up with the tone rings good. We'll check with the J-scan once this thing's in and make sure we're getting readings and everything, but yeah, it's coming along real nice. So yeah, let's crack open these rotors and calipers and get them put on. All right, number one. It's coming together quick. That is a thing of beauty. Them calipers just make the whole axle. All right, this thing's looking sick. All we got left, I'm gonna throw the axle shafts in, and then I'm gonna throw in the wheel spacer adapters to bring it to 8x170. That's it. This thing is, them red calipers just make it. And then the only thing I got left to do after all this is the pinion guard. I gotta finish welding it, but I'm gonna get a 1350 yoke, so I'll put it on once I get that. But yeah, this thing is pretty much done, and I'm excited. Let's get these axle shafts in. A little bit of gasket maker. Oh man. All right, here goes nothing. Oop. There she is. I know this probably isn't exciting for you guys, but I'm stoked. Well, the last piece of the puzzle is these adapters to make this thing 8x170. I was figuring out I'm gonna have to trim these studs down. That way they don't hit the back of the wheel. So I'll get them cut down on both sides, and then we'll be ready to Loctite this and torque this up. So I'm gonna assemble these with blue Loctite, but obviously I'm not gonna be able to torque these what they need torque to with it on this stand. So I'm just gonna put them together for now, and then whenever I get them under the Jeep, I will put the blue Loctite on and torque these down what they need to be at. Alright, so that's gonna be a wrap on this video. This thing looks amazing. I'm pretty proud of it. Turned out really good. The red calipers on that dark gray just make this axle. I know it ain't gonna look like that for long. About 2 trips out wheeling and it's just gonna look like all the rest of them, but I'll give you a final look at this thing. I want to thank all the new subscribers and welcome you to the channel. We're getting there. We got the front axle put together yet, and then we'll be putting these things in the 4-door, which is super exciting. Here's one last look at it, and we'll see you on the next one.